Hi students, I hope you're all doing good. We are connecting through online classes. This is your opportunity. So take advantage of this opportunity and make use of it. Today we are going to learn a lesson, microorganisms, friend and foe. Okay. So what is foe? Foe means nothing but enemy. Okay. So without wasting any time, let's get into it. Yeah, this is a I would like to start the lesson with a positive vibes, like stay positive, work hard and make it happen. Okay, so we'll make it happen. Fine. So this is the introduction part, like what are by the end of the lesson we are going to learn about these topics. Okay, that is introduction of microorganisms and microbes and humans, harmful microorganisms, friendly microorganisms, food preservation, nitrogen fixation and nitrogen cycle. Fine. Now, do you think you can see all the organisms in this picture? You can see one picture here. In that picture, can you see all the organisms? No, right? So many organisms we can't see with our naked eye. So answer is no, we can't. Organisms that are visible under a microscope are called microorganisms. So the microorganisms are very tiny, which we cannot see with our naked eye. So such organisms are called what? Microorganisms. Why we are calling it as a microorganisms? Because we can see them with the help of only microscope. Fine. Next. Where are microorganisms? Everywhere. Okay, microorganisms are everywhere. Like you can find them in all kinds of environment, like ice cold climate, hot springs, deserts, marshy lands, etc. They are also found inside the bodies of other organisms. Yeah, see, inside the body of other, in our body also microorganisms are there. They can live in our body also. Okay, so is it surprised? Right, that's right, surprised. See, pathogens are there. Pathogen means what? The microorganisms which cause diseases, called pathogens. Okay, fine. Now there are different types of microorganisms, such as bacteria, fungi, protozoa. Fungi is also called fungi. You can pronounce it as fungi. Fine. Okay, bacteria, fungi, protozoa, algae and virus. How many types of microorganisms are there? 5. What are those? Bacteria, fungi, protozoa. Okay, you should pronounce it like this: protozoa, algae and virus. Good. And about bacteria we should know. Bacteria is a single-celled organism. Okay, single-celled organism is also called what? Unicellular. Uni means single. Okay, uni means single. So single-celled organism. And bacteria, it may be found in colonies. It may be found in colonies. Like colony means what? You can find them in groups. Fine. Right. It can be spherical shape, rod shape or spiral shape. Means bacteria you can find them in different shapes. Okay, it is spherical, means cocci bacteria you can call it as. So the bacteria which is in spherical shape, that bacteria can be called as cocci. Okay, and rod shaped bacteria is called bacilli. And one more is there, spiral shaped, that bacteria is called spirilla. Okay, so example for bacteria are what is that, Rhodobacter, okay, and E. coli. Rhodobacter and E. coli. So these two are the examples for bacteria. So students, you have to remember some of the names, okay, because in biology some examples and some terminology and some of the technical names are a bit different and difficult also. If you learn, it will be so easy for you. Okay, please go through that. And yes, this is the other second type of microorganism, that is fungi. In fungi, the chlorophyll is absent. In fungi, the chlorophyll is absent, and some microorganisms, like some fungi can be like saprophytic. Okay, saprophytic means what? They live on dead and decay matters. Okay, and parasitic means they live on other organisms. They live on other organisms without harm, without making any harm. Okay, fine. So this is about so here the first point is the chlorophyll is absent in fungi, and means what? If the chlorophyll is absent, means they cannot prepare their own food, because the plant can make their own food because of what? Presence of chlorophyll. But in fungi, chlorophyll is absent, so they can't make their own food. Okay, that is the reason they depend upon the other organisms for the food. I think this is clear. Fine. Next, that is the reason some fungi they can be like saprophytic, and some are parasitic. Okay, example of fungi: yeast, mushroom, malt. Yeast, mushroom, and malt. So these are these all are examples for fungi. Okay. Next, protozoa. This is other type of microorganism. Protozoa is a heterotrophic. Protozoa is a heterotrophic. Heterotrophic means what? Autotrophic means which can prepare their own food. Auto means self nutrition. Okay. Heterotrophic means, autotrophic example you can say plants, right? Heterotrophic means what? It depends upon other animals for the food. Okay, heterotrophic. Hetero means other, trophic means nutrition. So for the nutrition means food. For the food, they depend upon other organism. So protozoa, so we are heterotrophics, right? Because we are depending upon other things, other matter, other organisms. So in the same way, protozoa also heterotrophics. Okay, and these organisms means protozoans are mostly aquatic. Aquatic means they live in water. Fine. Examples: amoeba, paramecium. So this is amoeba. One second. Yeah, this is amoeba and this is paramecium. Okay, paramecium. This is what? Protozoa. This is one microorganism, and amoeba is also microorganism. Okay, this is also protozoan. Fine. Next. Yeah, and the next microorganism, the type of microorganism is algae. Okay, algae lives in colonial. Colonial means it lives in colonies. Okay, it can live in colonies. It can live in colonies, and for example, volvox. Volvox. See here, volvox is example for algae, and Spirogyra. Spirogyra is a filamentous organism. Okay, Spirogyra. This is Spirogyra. This is Spirogyra, and this is Volvox. See, Volvox is living in groups, means colonies. This is one Volvox, second, third, like so. These are all together. Okay, means all together, they living all together is they are living all together. Fine. Okay, and filamentous. Spirogyra is the example for the filamentous organism. Fine, very good. And you have to remember that algae, okay, algae organisms means algae are they can live in colonies, and they can be like they are in filamentous shape. Okay, they are in filamentous shape. And the third point is like they can live in water. Okay, you can also technically you can also write like mostly aquatic. Mostly aquatic means they can live in water, right? Example, Spirogyra. You have to pronounce like this: Spirogyra and Volvox. Okay, fine. Next, let's move forward. Yes, this is the last one, virus. Okay, so mostly actually about virus, one surprising matter is there. What is that? That thing is, until the virus can enter the other organism's body, they are non-living beings. Okay, once again I'm repeating this. Viruses are non-living things until they get some host. Host means they can enter into other organism. So once they enter into other organism for their survival, they start living as living being. Okay, they can start living, they can start reproducing, and they can start having nutrition. Okay, so these are all things can be happened once or until they get the host. Fine. So that is the reason these viruses lie on the borderline of living and non-living. So we can't say that viruses are living things or non-living things. So this is what the thing. And example you can say for virus: influenza virus, chickenpox virus. Okay, fine. So let's move forward. This actually advantages of microorganisms. Okay, so what are the advantages? Yes, in production of bread, microorganisms can be used, and idli and dosa batter. Okay, and alcohol, curd and cheese also, microorganisms help. They help in making curd and cheese. Okay, example, yeast, lactobacillus. Okay, the lactobacillus bacteria, it helps in making curd. Okay, and the next, these are all the commercial purpose. And the next thing is increasing the soil fertility. So microorganisms increase the soil fertility. How it increases we will see. Fungi and bacteria break down complex minerals into simple forms. Okay, so some bacteria, what it will do, it breaks down the complex minerals into simple forms. So those simple forms again will be they can be moved into they can be mixed into the soil, so the soil can be fertile. So fertile soil, obviously it will be more helpful for the plants. Okay, fine. The next, microorganisms can be used in medicines. Okay, for production of antibiotics. Example, streptomycin, tetracycline and terramycin. So in these antibiotics, okay, making of antibiotics, microorganisms are used, and for production of vaccine, okay, example polio, and vitamin B complex tablets from yeast and bacteria, and cleaning the environment. Microorganisms help in decomposition of dead organisms, okay. So any dead matter is left on the ground, so these microorganisms, they decompose the dead matter, means they break down the complex substances into simple substances. So in that way they clean the environment also. So girls, I hope you understood the content well. Thank you. And there is a quote here: there is no elevator to success, you have to take the stairs. Okay, so all the best, and watch the video for several times till you understand the concepts. Thank you. Have a nice day.